All right, we're going to talk naturally here because we may go over some business while we're talking. Hi, I'm Lance, and this is Bonnie.
Mrs. Ash.
Mrs. Ash.
Hi.
Okay. What I wanted to say earlier before you left the room is whenever we do the crossword, Bonnie and I print up is it the Wall Street term?
Los Angeles Times.
Los Angeles Times crossword, and we do it together so you can finish it before the other. And whenever we're doing the crossword, I write down words at the bottom of the page that are in the crossword because it brings up things I want to look up. Like tonight, I wrote down. I gotta make old damn glasses here. Hold on.
What is this sport called baseball? No, I'm just kidding.
Hebrides, Charles Ives, Huevos, and Bjorn Borg. Huevos because God, what's the name of that band?
ZZ Top's
Right.
great album cover?
No. Band. The album is influenced by ZZ Top, and the album cover is influenced by ZZ Top.
You're going to have to think about this and make a note of it later, dear.
Oh, Christ. Anyway, the trio on SST Records from Arizona. You know. Anyway, so all
the
these.
one who did Seven Brothers, Seven Sons, Southern something? That group?
I don't know what that is. The Kirkwood
Peas
Brothers.
And carrots?
No, that's
That's something else. See,
yeah.
this is what happens when...
I don't want to get up and walk over there and look at it right now.
Oh, okay, all right.
But they did. That's the way Sam's played around.
Oh, I can't remember who that is.
The Kirkwood Brothers.
I don't know. Who is that?
Okay, now I got to get up over here and walk over here and find out the name of the damn band. I'm feeling like a fool. It's not Dead Kennedys. It's the Meat Puppets. Jesus, why couldn't I think of that? It's so simple.
Wait a minute. I thought they were out of Washington State or something.
No, they're from Arizona. Their grandfather was a multi-millionaire. He owned a department store and made a fortune.
What album was I thinking about with the...
Tres Hombres.
No, I was thinking
ZZ Top.
TV Dinner.
The name of that band is Nevada Bachelors.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, they were a good
what you were
band,
thinking
but they
about.
didn't last long. I got too many cushions on the sofa here. I can't function like
That's
that.
my cushion you stole from me. Why'd you steal my cushion?
Well, then use it, but this thing's in my way. Anyway,
Who's the Princess and the Bee tonight, Mr. Lance?
we have the Inner and Outer Hebrides, chain of islands off the coast of Scotland. Charles Ives, uniquely American composer. Huevos, which brings up Meat Puppets in general. And Bjorn Borg, who was a tennis great that I want to find out what happened to him.
The one that got in trouble for tax evasion or something recently?
No, I think that was Becker from Germany. I think Bjorn Borg was...
What was Becker's first name?
Bjorn. Becker's first name was...
I don't know. I'm drawing a blank. Boy, we are getting old, man.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I slept 8 hours. But anyway, beyond all that, had a stressful week at work because they're laying more burdens on us. And, I've boiled down my new running regimen.
Becker.
Boris Becker, that was it. BB and BB, yeah. Think of some more famous BBs, Bonnie.
Everybody famous I know. Anyway, I'm taking care of your mother this week because your sister's run off to Montana to get married.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Actually,
it's depressing.
She's gonna be gone 3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Yeah, she gets married next Saturday.
And then she's spending several weeks driving back here for a second wedding ceremony.
Yeah, that's in November though. Oh Lord.
So anyway, I adopted. Well, I don't know if I mentioned this last week, but okay. When I was on vacation, I went to Gainesville, and I stopped by a little free library, and I got a book from the early '60s. I think it was a special issue of the Paris Review, and it was all interviews with writers, and they had an interview with S.J. Perlman in there, and he mentioned all these humor writers that he liked, and it was an inspiration to me because I hadn't heard of some of these people, so I wrote the names down, and I'm leading up to something that I can't remember what the hell I was going to be leading up to, so you'll have to let me ramble for a minute to get to it.
Oh my God, we have broken our brains.
I don't know what the fuck's
haven't we?
wrong with me tonight. Is there a gas leak in the house?
Oh my God. Just the usual one.
So, anyway, well, number one, it led me into reading Cynthia Heimel again, and number two, it led me ordering
Treasury of.
the Oxford Book of Humorous Prose, which I got in the mail yesterday. Oh, I know what it was. So I decided,
Do you?
yeah,
Do you?
I decided, my nose is running.
That you're going to forget it again.
No, I got it. I really need to approach my comics more humorously. So I wrote down the motto, sillier and sillier. And it paid off this week because last night I started writing a page in the comic that it really worked for me. It really evoked my old webcomic of, 10, 15 years ago. And I felt so... Sometimes when I finish writing or drawing a page of my comic strip, I feel so good. It's just a feeling of satisfaction. And anyway, so how's your week been? How's your day been?
Well, I'm helping take care of your mom, so I have to spend time down there with her and get some stuff done. And we talked about your father and the divorce, and I cannot believe your father left your mother and Catherine to fend for her and her dotage. I think that's lousy. I didn't go anywhere, did I? I don't think I went anywhere, did I? I made you mac and cheese.
Yeah, looking forward to that. I'm gonna dump cayenne or smoked paprika all over it.
Flavor, need some flavor.
I'm craving just some boiling hot sauce. I just want to be knocked out by spice.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. Is there any food we eat that is naturally like that? I mean,
Spicy?
not well. People say spicy, but I specifically mean hot. Cayenne hot, jalapeno hot.
No. We add things to stuff, but I stopped cooking with the chilies.
Why? What happened?
I can't process a lot of things, though. Borderline ulcers and stuff.
Yeah, but they've shown that chilies are good for your stomach.
Doesn't
actually.
work for me. But I still have all those dried fingerling chilies. I just barely use them.
Really? Those must be 10 years old at this point.
No, baby. I use them and buy them again. And
Oh, I thought they were
lay 'em
the
out
ones
in
you
the-
grew.
Oh, God, that was ages ago. Yeah, there was a drought here one summer, and everything in the garden died except for these 9 or 18 chili plants I had. I take that back. One of the things survived. It was the black beans, and the black beans dried on the stalk. And the chilies dried on the stalk, too. And we ate off those for a while. But no, I buy the fingerling and spread them out into a
Vietnamese,
basket.
right?
I don't know what they are. And I spread them out in a basket and let them air dry for a couple of days. And then put them in an old glass jar with a cloth over it.
Those smell so good, dried, collected like that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I used to think I'd have to hang them up and stuff, but no, you just spread them out flat. I've got that big round basket that we put miscellaneous fruit in, and I just put the chilies in there and dry them out, and it's beautiful. And they're dirt cheap. I mean,
Where you get them, up at the market?
generally at DeKalb, but Cherrian's has them, and Patel Brothers also has them. And I just go in there and invert a bag over my hand and grab a couple of handfuls and pull them through. And it's not even $1 for all those.
Yeah. I want to say one thing about the current political scene. I think that the Republicans and the Republican-leaning spectrum are so racist and so sexist that they have been blindsided by the whole enthusiasm for Kamala Harris, because I think that they truly believed that the vast majority of the American people were not going to go for this woman. A woman, a black woman, this specific black woman. I think that they thought, oh, this, well, if Biden does drop out, then this black woman from California is going to take over, and the American people will never go for her. And then they find, to their shock and horror, oh, wait a minute, you mean people actually like her? They're enthusiastic about her? What the hell is going on? Is the world gone crazy? I think that they are just totally, the world has gone topsy-turvy for them at this moment, because okay, what?
Well, they have this whole idea, and everything turns back in on itself. How many times have you heard a conservative go on about, how dare they have black people in this show? Why would they have a woman in that show? Why would they have a minority in that show? And the thing is that it normalizes people's perception. You see somebody in a role of as a doctor, as a lawyer, as a professor, and they are part of a minority group, and it becomes normalized in the way that you perceive things. This person can be this type, instead of being typecast as, the thug or the guy who is shooting up a place or whatever it is. Remember the Robert Townsend movie, what was it called, Hollywood Shuffle?
Mm-hmm.
And the only roles he can get are for thugs and idiots and other types because he's a black man. And they don't realize that, or I think the Republicans, part and parcel, have all been working against normalizing acceptance of minorities, outsiders, etc., because they didn't want people to perceive them as people of potential.
Well, that 12-year-old black boy who basically held his ground with Mike Lindell the other day, and I bet that would just blow some people's minds,
As soon as you and I finished watching the segment, I said, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is why they don't want critical thinking taught in our schools.
Yeah.
Because it was a 12-year-old, because what proof do you have just because you say so?
I used to say women ruined movies. Women ruin movies. But what I mean by that is not the presence of a woman in the movie. The problem that I always have is that
the obligatory role that is into a story to somehow or another balance it.
No, what I mean is that the romance thing.
Yes.
Because what I mean is you have the perfectly good adventure movie. Well, we're going to put a woman in there, and she'll be the love interest. Why do you have to have a love interest? If she's along for the adventure, fine.
Master and Commander.
I get.
Master and Commander.
Yeah, there's not a single woman in there except for the woman he looks at.
And there's nothing wrong with having a movie where it's all guys, because in that case, in this particular case, it was historical. These guys are all on a ship. There would have been no women with them.
You're right.
But the Republicans and that mindset are such that how dare you try to normalize these people? How dare you have equity and parity in some way or another on screen and allow people who would normally be excluded to be normalized?
Well, I'll give you
and Harris is part of that. She has been swept along with this. We see in her a successful person, period. An articulate person, period. And her being a woman or black doesn't matter to me. When I listened to her last night doing the DNC convention acceptance speech, I thought, I like her. I really like her because of the way that she spoke and she presented to who she was.
Well, I'll give you another example. Jurassic Park, Laura Dern is in the movie, but she's just one of the team. She's one of the gang. And there's no moment in the movie where she and the hero look at each other and realize we've been in love with each other the whole time. Let's kiss now. The dinosaur bit my leg off.
Alien.
Oh, yes,
movie. It does not matter what the gender of the person is. They just go in and they trot out for the role of Smith, Jones, whoever, and whoever was best delivering the lines got it, and they just happened to be male, female, white, black, whatever.
I'll tell you that there's a scene in that movie where Tom Skerritt and Sigourney Weaver are in the Sigourney Weaver and Tom Skerritt are in the passageway leading to the main computer, and they're talking, and Tom Skerritt says to her something about, well, I don't trust anybody or something. And they look at each other like there may be an iota of either romance or sexual tension below the surface. But when you realize that those characters could have easily been two men,
exactly,
you realize they didn't write it with any romance in mind. It's just implied in your mind by the fact that you expect something to happen,
maybe
but nothing happens.
For a moment,
right.
Yeah.
This, and some romance. Oh, I tell you, that whole, we were talking about this yesterday. The Abyss was such a shitty movie. And that whole thing with, what's his name, and Ed Harris and Mary Beth Mastrantonio, whatever. That whole, oh, well, she's my estranged wife, and the wedding ring will save my life later. Better fish it out of the toilet. Who gives a flying fuck?
I tried to rewatch that last year at some point when it came on free on Prime. And when they got to the point where you introduced these two as ex-husband and wife, all of the conversation was so trite. It was all full of tropes. I just went, this is awful. This is such bad writing. And I turned it off.
Yeah. That was such a bad movie. And then what really killed it for me was at the end when the alien city vessel rises to the surface. It was so cheap looking. It was just plastic.
It was like holding down a bottle in a pool and having it pop up to the surface kind of effect.
It looked like they had melted plastic and just draped it over some framework, and it was just, okay, we've cheaped out here. Oh, anyway,
yeah, so the DNC convention went a lot better than the RNC. No doom and gloom BS. I mean, the Republicans are basically selling you on fear and hate. And the Democrats say no to this, no to that nonsense, that way of looking at things, and let's tackle some real problems, dealing with things that affect people in the real world, not billionaire tax cuts, but the cost of health care and the costing of housing, etc. Oh, did you see the Justice Department ruling today? They're going to investigate a company that helped rental companies price fix properties across the U.S.
Okay.
That's excellent.
No, I didn't see that. I did see that Thursday morning, Trump called in to Fox and Friends, and they asked him a question, basically something like, "Well, how do you think it's going?" And he rambled for 5 solid minutes. And Farron Cousins on the Ring of Fire YouTube channel read a transcript of it, which was even funnier than hearing Trump or hearing a recording of Trump talking. And it was like listening to somebody rambling in the park.
Something else where he did that. It was this morning on Internet Today. They had one of his speeches.
Yeah.
And he just blathered on and went off on some kind of thing about peanuts and electronics.
He sounds like an over-medicated person at the old folks' home. Just rambling.
Worse, he sounds like that guy you're scared to approach on the street because he won't shut up.
And anyway, basically, the Fox News people just basically had to go, okay, that's all the time we have. We got to go now. And they just cut him off because it was just gibberish.
Yeah. Fox goes out of their way not to show their viewers examples of things like this at his rallies. And here he chimes in live on air.
If they think that RFK's endorsement is going to give them any extra boost, they're crazy, because the only people that RFK Jr. appeals to are people who are just fringe lunatics. Vaccines kill people. It's as dumb as saying...
Plenty of maggots that feel that way, too.
It's as dumb as saying gasoline puts fires out, you know? Oh, God, I tell you, in about an hour or so, I would love a calzone with onions and spinach and black olives and maybe garlic cloves in it. Do they even have that?
They already closed at 9.
Well, that's okay. I don't want to go out to eat.
There might be a calzone place downtown you could order ahead. Was it calzone dough?
I've never eaten at that place.
I haven't either.
I don't know what they were like. I don't want to risk anything.
It's late already. And
PZ Doughs? See, it's a dumb name.
Yeah, it's something silly. CP Doughs.
So, yeah, something like that. I don't see how much longer they can stay in business.
I don't know that they are. I haven't driven down that way in a while. Oh, I had lunch with Reed this week. That was really nice.
Did you go to Junk in the Trunk afterwards?
Yeah, she said, "You want to go to a thrift store?" I said, "I don't know. They're all so dirty and they don't have much." She goes, "Well, what about Junk in the Truck?" I said, "Okay, I'll go to that. I'll go to that secondhand store." Yeah, we went to Hilo and I had the fajita sandwich and a regular portion instead of a side portion of fries. Decadent. And she got a poke bowl and a regular order of Parmesan garlic something fries. And she ate nearly the entire poke bowl, and she and I both finished off our huge order of fries. They have the best French fries.
Junk in the Trunk is a consignment store, just one exit down from where I work. Yeah, it's one of these places where the place is divided up into booths, and so you go, "Oh, I want to rent a booth," and then so they put like stickers and everything. This is booth 14, and so you get a chunk and they get a chunk for whatever. So you don't have to be there. But years ago, they had a little painting by Margaret Leighton of 2 owls for like $35, and I'm so cheap I didn't get it, and I've kicked myself in the ass ever since then. I love minor artists. And she was a minor artist
Was
from...
she an illustrator?
I don't think so, but she flourished, say, late 50s to mid 70s, early 70s. Yeah. And she painted a lot of pictures of owls and of buildings. And I wish I'd gotten it. But the other thing I wish I'd gotten it, somebody has a like a bookstore booth, and they had old issues of Omni magazine, which they were kind of pricey because I'm not going to get just one issue. I'd like to get like 10. I wish I'd gotten those, but they're gone now.
Yeah, if you hesitate, it's gone in a second. They had shard boxes down there, and I got one, and I didn't want to get the second one because the first one was like maybe $10. The next one was like $14, and I thought, eh. And now shard boxes are like 50 and 100. I still want them. The story goes is that during the Chinese Revolution, people were forced to hide old Chinese porcelain and such, and some of it got broken up. And after everything began to come out from under Mao and all of his cronies, they discovered all these shards of pottery, and they turned them into little artworks, little boxes and things, and they're really cute. Yeah, I've always regretted not getting that second shard box.
Okay, everybody, we've gone over time.
Are we?
Yeah. Anything else to add?
Well, if there is, I'm sure you and I have both forgotten it.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot to talk about this week, but we will save it. We'll start writing notes down during the week, and that way we'll have things.
Then we'll forget where the notes are. I love you, Lance.
I love you, Bonnie.
Bye.
Bye-bye.